Welcome to One Tired Teacher Turn Two Tired Teachers, episode 182, 3 Reasons for Teachers to Stay in the Classroom. Today, Lee and I are back and we're talking about 3 reasons to stay. Last week on episode 181, we talked about whether you should stay or whether you should go. And I feel like we both felt like it was a little more geared towards leaving or when it was time to make a change. And this time we want to give you some encouraging reasons to stay, especially if you feel like you have to. So we hope you stick around.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Devery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Devery.
Okay, so here we go. 3 encouraging reasons for teachers to stay. You want me to start with my first one?
Yeah, I think this is such a great conversation to have, Trina, because of where, back to school time and teachers are kind of feeling a little tepid about restarting the school year. Maybe they know they don't need a change right now. Like in our last episode, we talked about like when to know if it's time to go. But now it's kind of like, I know I'm not either A, it's not time for me to leave education, or B, I can't leave right now for whatever reason. Yeah. So I hope the tips that we give today will kind of help you kind of go into the new school year feeling a little bit more prepared and a little bit with a different mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
A positive mindset.
Yes. I had to text my son really fast because the door is open and I want him to shut the door. Will you shut the door, please? All right. I know. So we're
recording here.
All right. So one of the reasons that I think that teachers might want to stay, or one of the things that I absolutely love about teaching, besides the students and how much I love the students, but I love the feeling of beginning something and then ending it, like feeling like you have this fresh new start, new perspective, and then not all of a sudden, through a long period of time, and then you get to have some closure.
9 long months.
Yeah, 9 long months, but you've built or developed this, this year, and then you get to shut the door on it and move on to the next one. So I really love that beginning end kind of mentality.
Yeah, that kind of like cycle, that cylindrical kind of feeling of the beginning. I love that too, because when kids come in, they're new, fresh faced, and then you kind of get to take this amazing group of little people and hone them over the next few months into bigger, better people. Because so much happens, not just mind growth, and not just academic growth, but they physically grow, especially because I'm in 2nd grade. I feel like it's like a huge, 1st grade too, a huge growth. They just shoot up
out and
they have no teeth. They're snaggle teeth. If you don't like teeth, don't teach 2nd grade or 1st grade, man. Sure. It's all about teeth. But it starts a little in kindergarten. It reaches a peak for sure.
Yeah.
But they're just growing so much. And then you're right. At the end, you kind of get to put an end to it and kind of say, okay, goodbye. And the wonderful part is it's you're going to miss the ones you miss, but then the other ones you're like, bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Au revoir. She'll never see you again.
Yeah. Yet you do. You're running.
I know. Oh my gosh.
20 years
come back. And it's always those ones that you're like, really? You're the one coming back to give me hugs? Should we? But they always love you.
True. Okay. So what's another encouraging reason to stay?
For me, it comes back to the kids. And I said this in our last episode, teachers don't go into education for the money. They usually go in for the reward. And to me, the biggest reward is those light bulb moments with students. That's one thing that I miss every single day being out of the classroom, is sitting with students and seeing their little faces light up when they finally get something that they've been working on, or the excitement on their face when they're learning something new. I miss that. And I think going into the new school year, just remembering and I don't want to say the kids are everything, you should stay for the kids, because that's very toxic to be thinking that way. But that's a huge bonus. How many other people that sit at office jobs get to sit there and tell you think that get to have conversations with like 7, 8, 9, 6-year-olds all day. None. And those kids, they say the funniest darn things all the time.
They're so funny. And as a parent, you need to know that they're going to tell your whole life
all
story.
the secrets are told. You don't have secrets. You think they are, they're not. The whole class already knows about whatever happened that night before.
For sure. It is for sure. I agree with you. I love that. And not only do I love like the light bulb moments, but I also love the moments where kids feel heard. Like they're like, I'm coming to you.
Oh yeah.
You hear me and you see me and you see me for who I am. I love that.
They're important in your room.
Yeah.
That you build that kind of like sense of you are an important member of this family in our classroom and we value you. I think that's huge.
I do too.
Yeah. And I think like the wonderful thing about teaching, like you talk about like there's a set beginning and an end, right? Mm-hmm. To me, you never teach the same day twice, right? That's like true. It is always new, always something. Sometimes it's a good news, sometimes it's a bad news, but when you shut your door at the end of the day, everything that happened at the end of the day is in the back. And now you're going to open your door then in the next day and it's going to be a fresh start because new things are going to happen. Yeah. And I love that part because it's like no 2 days are ever the same. No, my goodness gracious.
No, you're right. And you can kind of feel like there's some forgive and forget in a sense as well. And now we're moving on to a fresh day. Yeah, I love that too. And then my other thing that I also love is, and I know this sounds so silly, but I love decorating my classroom. Like that was one of my favorite. Yes. I mean, I decorated my media centers. I decorated my classrooms. I love decking it all out and being ready for a new year. And I mean, we did themes for the first long part of my teaching career. At the end, I started getting more like, I'm going to do this black and white and red like theme. And then this was all before boho and all the rest of that stuff and farmhouse and whatever. That was before that. I probably would have jumped right on the bandwagon with all those design things as well. But I just love, I love that feeling of making it something so special. I had a kid come in one time. I had my classroom decorated for superheroes. And I had Spider-Man hanging from the ceiling and a huge giant.
We are not affiliated with Marvel, just FYI.
A huge giant Batman in my classroom, in my science area. All this really cool superhero stuff. And a kid came in at open house and he walked in and he looked like, at first he looked really like, I'm here for open house. He's like just kind of standing there. And then he looks at his mom, he looks around and he's like looking up at all the things and he sees Hulk, that I had a Hulk, hand. And he's like, okay, Mom, I'll come. Yeah.
She's won me over. Yeah. She's pretty cool.
He's like, I guess I can come to school. Like he didn't want to come to school, but then just that moment of like, and he never didn't want to be there. And so, that was just the beginning. That was just the opening the door to get him excited to want to be there.
Yeah. Well, and so I don't want people to take away, like, I need a very specific superheroes classroom so the kids want to come to school.
Yeah.
No, but a classroom that feels homey, it can be a huge bonus or feel like a space where kids feel welcome and want to learn, whether that's boho or farmhouse or Superman, with a theme, or maybe you're just doing colors. Like, I agree. Like, and that's a fun part of teaching is like, you don't like your decor anymore. Guess what? You get to change it. No one can really tell you the otherwise, Yeah. Can I give a bonus one?
Absolutely.
Okay. This is kind of a bonus, but I think for the most part, teaching has a little bit more autonomy than most careers in the sense that, like, I don't want to say you get to shut your door and teach. Obviously, there are things dictated to us that we have to teach, the standards, any programs that your district says. But in general, you get to kind of pick and choose and be creative, or at least in my teaching experience, I've taught 5 different schools, 2 different districts. And in general, I've been able to bring my creativity to the classroom, even with programs that are scripted. Mm-hmm. And I like that part because I know sitting at like a desk job, or doing phone calls, you don't get that same kind of creativity outlet. and that same kind of like ability to kind of pick and choose what was going to work for you and your students. Although I feel like now it's starting to kind of, they want to control everything.
Yeah, no,
But
you still have, you mean, when you can, like when you can, yeah, I know you don't like to tell teachers to shut their door and do it their way, but I do. I like to tell teachers to
I know you do. I just feel like it gives a negative connotation that you shouldn't be like, but I guess I've just taught at too many schools where I was not allowed to just shut my door.
You are a super huge rule follower, and I am a reformed rule follower. So I am a rebel teacher, and I like to shut my door and do it my way because 95% of the time, no one ever knows.
It's true. That is true.
So anyway, all right, we will wrap it up and we will be back next week. So until then, sweet dreams and sleep tight.
Good night.